right, so let's go ahead and pick our numbers. Let's say for our dividend we're going to say 23 and 7/10. All right. For our divisor, let's choose the number 5, and we will find out our quotient by working through our problem. All right, so we just set up our problem. Remember that we are going to ignore decimal point until the end. You don't have to write that. I'm just writing it as another thing to remember. Just to remember that. Don't forget. That's how important it is. All right, so that's our problem. 23 and 7/10 divided into 5 groups. So let's go ahead and set up this problem once again without all the words stuck in the middle of it. 23, that's the word I'm looking for. 23 and 7/10 divided into 5 groups. All right, so the first thing to remember, keep place value lined up. All right, so remember that all of our numbers that go on top of the house should go on top of the numbers. Remember that we're ignoring the decimal point, but remember when you're bringing down numbers to really focus on not getting them out of place. All right, keep your place values lined up. The second thing to remember, there's no remainder. All right, so when we're dividing decimals, there is no remainder. We will not have a remainder. We will have decimals. So now, the next thing to remember, if there is a remainder, and I'm going to put this in quotes because it's not really a remainder. Add an emoji 0 to the dividend. So I'll show you what I mean whenever we work through this problem. All right, and then finally, don't forget that the decimal point takes an elevator straight up from the dividend to the quotient. All right, so that's all the writing, and I know I wrote that kind of fast, so we can just hang out for a while and look at this. The rest of it is just going to be solving this problem using divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down, DMSB. So the things to remember. This is all you have to remember for dividing decimals. Keep your place value lined up. There's no remainder. If there is a remainder, add an emoji 0 to the dividend, and keep going. And then finally, the decimal point takes an elevator straight up from the dividend to the quotient. So, first things first, remember we are using DMSB, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. All right, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. You will use DMSB basically one time for every digit in your dividend. If we add a 0, we'll have to use it an extra time, right? You end up doing that more than 3 times. If we add a 0, we'll do every step 4 times. All right, so in the next video, we will come back. We will take a look at the problem. We will use the DMSB steps. We will follow our rules, keep our place values lined up, make sure we don't have a remainder. If there is a remainder, we'll add an emoji 0 to the dividend and keep going, and then make sure our decimal takes an elevator ride to the top. See you in the next video.